Hey guys, this is Dan with Fodera Guitars. Today I will be taking you through the Fodera shop. If you've watched our YouTube channel, I'm the guy behind the camera filming Mike Bendy, chopping it up with those tasty licks. I'm going to be giving you an inside look into what we do, how we do it, where we do it, and hopefully I give you guys a behind the scenes look at what happens here. So right now I'm actually talking to you from the video room. This is where we film all of the demos, where we have all of the Mondays with Mike interviews, where Mike is normally taking you through different builds. I actually work in 2 studios, so this is the video room where we shoot all of our demos, and then I'll take our studio photos in our photo studio right next door, and that's where all of the photos that are on the newborn gallery come from. If you don't know about our newborn gallery, you can check it out at the link below in the description and fantasize about your next dream Fodera build. You can see different builds, get different ideas, see what ingredients people are using, and just see the look. It's a great reference tool for getting ideas about what you want to incorporate in your build, so please check that out. Obviously, you can talk to Mr. Mike Bendy, Director of Sales, for any questions that you have. And we've got plenty of stuff on our website, fodera.com, to check out.
Hey, Laura Fodera here. I am the manager here at Fodera Guitars. And as you may or may not know, I am also Vinny's daughter. This place has been very near and dear to me for a very long time. I guess you can say my whole life. I have been here since December 2009, doing various things from customer service to office managing, shop managing. Now most of my work here is management and administrative. I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff to make sure that things are running smoothly. One of my biggest goals now is to help the company move into the future. So helping to create a legacy for Vinny and Joey, who have started this amazing dream that the rest of us can now be a part of. We are standing here in my office. I'll show you a couple of things that are really special to me in here. So you might notice this awesome, really cute little pink guitar hanging on the wall. Dad made this for me, I think I was 6. Yes, this is an authentic Fodera. Serial number. I got my butterfly. Oh wait, hang on. I have a matching one. Some of my family. This is my mom. DJ actually got me my little cactus from, here's my little shot glass from my hometown in Sicily. And my little girl painted me Mama's new pen holder. So I've been trying to make a little history log for our company. Here's just a couple of fun things that I could share with you. This was our shop cat. That's Bebe right there. And then, as you could see, one of our team members lovingly photoshopped my father's mustache onto my face. As if we did not look enough alike already. And then here's an old cool picture of me and Vic. One day when he visited the shop and I had longer blonde highlights. And Rob and I, when we first started together, this was probably in 2010, when we ordered some shirts for the website. And I might be dating myself and wearing a really old one right now. So that's a little bit of my archive and my office. So this is our open office area. We did not always have this half of the shop. We were only the other half of the shop up until a couple of years ago, and then we were lucky and gracious enough to get this space, which allowed us to expand. It gives us a home for our administrative team, proper entrance for our guests, beautiful photo studio space and video. I'm sure DK told you about that, or will soon. We have this awesome guest wall here, which I had the pleasure of creating this little butterfly. When anyone comes to visit our shop, you get to sign the wall, and it's just pretty fun for us to look at on a regular basis. A lot of love on this wall. We actually just rearranged this recently, but we started having our meetings out here. Our production staff carefully reviews every custom spec at this very table, and they project onto this wall our spec sheets to make sure that everything leaves in perfect condition. And then here's where the guys sit. Mike's desk, DK, we have Fred, some open office area, Pat, Rob. That is a desk for the world's largest top wood ever. And then you can see Chris over there in the conference room. So just a nice little office space, which then takes you into probably everyone's favorite room, which is the kitchen. I always joke and say that Fodera runs on Dunkin'. No, this is not an ad, but coffee is extremely important to us. So I guess this is where the coffee happens. And it may or may not be the month of May with our Christmas tree up, but that's our office space. I hope you liked it and enjoy the rest of your tour.
Hey everybody, Vinny Fodera here. Welcome to my inner sanctum. This is my drafting room. It's where I spend a great deal of the day designing all the stuff that you folks get to see on the website and get to enjoy from us, and thank you for that. I really appreciate your support. This is where it starts. You know, we'll talk, we'll get an idea, and then I'll come to this table and lay out paper, and I'll draw and sketch until we have something cool. So I hope you enjoy the little tour.
I'm Dan from Fodera Guitars. I do various things throughout the shop, from carving, this is my bench, to building in the back, but we'll get to that in a bit. But I figured, I'd show you my bench a little bit, show you some of the stuff I got. I got everything from scrapers, straight edges, chisels, scoop chisels, customized sanding blocks, even a couple things like this I found this morning. It's actually, there's a nose and some lips right there and kind of a bit of a chin. It's kind of like an H.R. Geiger image. I think it's kind of cool. I have an H.P. Lovecraft thing there. I have this Anthony Jackson, the patron saint of bass, always watching over. Pucker Butt Pepper Company, love them. They make the some of the hottest hot sauce in the world.
Hot sauce is a big deal around here. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of us that love hot sauce.
Yeah.
We like hot sauce, metal, and wood. So yeah, this is basically where customs come, and I'll start carving them, like right there actually. We have a set of twins going through for a longtime customer of ours and good friend. So for example, right here, we have this guy, which is a really cool 6-string MG bolt-on with white alder body, 3-piece maple neck, Palfaro fingerboard, and then a full ebony headstock on it. And you might notice it's got a really big pickup route in it. This is actually going to have 3 individual single coils. And it's going to be pretty wild. Headless, of course. And yeah, it's pretty cool. We're actually doing twins. Take the sheet off here. This is the second one. Twinning.
Wow.
So I did this one late last week, and then this week I'm doing this one to match. And we'll get them moving together at the same time. So once I'm done carving them, I actually do all the sanding on them. Once that's all done, I'll give it a final look over, check all the shapes, make sure everything's nice. And I'll tape off the fingerboard, do a progress photo. If you've gotten a custom, you know. Keep an eye out for a little chicken, I hide it sometimes. And then I'll send it off into the booth, and they'll start doing their thing. So I've got my workbench over here. Vinny's workbench is right there. And then over here, we have Randy's bench. We have the Plek bench right here. Drew is over there. And then we have Patrick as well, even further in. Each one of us does a lot of different things all at the same time. Drew actually carves customs. Pat carves customs. We'll kind of rotate, because we'll have a few going at a time, and it's a lot, for one person to do. So each one of us will take one and take care of it. And Randy is doing like final setup work and stuff like that, final assembly, getting things all set, ready to get final checked out by Joey and sent to you. This is the Plek machine right here. This does, fret leveling, fingerboard leveling, stuff like that, and we'll refine it afterwards to get it exactly where we want it. If you notice, it has custom lights in it. We call it the discoplex. So over here, this is the main instrument rack for the luthier room. We have instruments that are ready for final assembly, instruments that might be getting service work, instruments waiting to be carved. It all goes right here, and then as anyone needs it, they'll grab it and start doing their work to it. Like for example, we got a couple new ones right here. We got a nice old school Monarch right there. And then we got a few more that are actually waiting. Those have been strung up and they're sitting for a couple days to get acclimated to string tension. Once that happens, then we can go through and level the frets and get it just right. So here's Pat. He's actually going to be working on the one I'm in the process of carving, doing a couple adjustments to it, some fingerboard leveling work. If you look up above the fretting station right there, we have a special little someone hiding up above the light. Bat plank. Pat is the fingerboard leveling extraordinaire and Fodera chili champion. Here we have the wild Drusif in his natural environment. He likes hot sauce like me.
Spicy.
Yeah. So Drew's working on a Headless Monarch Elite right now, 6-string with an Amazon Rosewood top, ebony fingerboard, 3-piece maple neck, walnut body, and yep, maple tone block. This thing's a beauty. I love this thing. Yeah, I love the two-tone pattern adjoining the neck, so it kind of creates a burst type effect. And then you have the ebony board tying into the black headstock face. It's like one look.
How long would you say carving something like this takes?
We started that on Monday of last week. So it's a pretty intensive process, and it takes quite a while, especially getting everything exactly right. So basically, as a summary, this is where the magic happens. So in here we have the, the machine hallway, where we have everything from our pin router to our small bandsaw, large edge sander, flatbed sander, chop saw, various different grinders, the routing table where all the pickups are routed and control cavities. So as you come in, here's the chop saw where all the cutoffs kind of come around, and we'll use them for jigs, blocks, whatever really we need around the shop. And then we have the fret slotter over here, and a few other machines like a jointer, planer, time saver, and the CNC machine and the big bandsaw. Rob's actually running that right now. He's probably doing the perimeter on a body. We also have over here, we have a top drying rack. Sometimes we'll get top woods in that are already sliced, and we want to make sure that they're drying and seasoning correctly and holding flat, not going crazy on us. So we actually have this right here. It's a pretty basic setup with just some kettlebells, some 20-pound kettlebells, and it works. I can come back here while I'm doing my thing and watch how they're moving and adjust the weights accordingly and help them relax. We've also got some over here. These are Indian rosewood tops. Kind of a rarity from us, but we do have them. Hey. And then behind us, we have the legendary wood library. Everything from bodywoods to topwoods from all over the world, everywhere from Asia to Canada, Africa, Australia. We have woods from pretty much every continent. We have this rack over here, which this is all cutoffs from past instruments that we've built, and we keep this in case we have another one that comes along that needs something to match, or say we have a bass that we made 20 years ago and they want to put wood covers on it finally. Chances are we have the cutoffs in this rack from that bass. A lot of history. Even this section right here, some of the old school Fodera fans might notice, that's chestnut. Some of the old stuff. So over here, this rack has a mix of things. We have giant spruce logs, ebony logs. We have, this is where I keep a lot of like the standard woods. I'll keep them aside so we know exactly how much we have at any given time. And then up top, we kind of keep it away from prying hands. That is all Brazilian rosewood up there, pre-ban. We have quite a bit of it in various sizes. And then if you look here, we have some Buckeye Burl that's been drying, and it'll probably dry for another month and a half. before we'll start cutting it down into blocks, and we'll let it sit a little bit more after that, because once you cut it open, more moisture can come out, and then we'll let that sit, and then you can select it for your top on your custom build. Over here we have bodywoods. People have heard a lot about swamp ash over the past couple of years. It's been pretty difficult to get lightweight stuff, but we've been working hard at it. So right now our stick supply of swamp ash is pretty low, but we do get body blocks in that we're able to use. We also have walnut, alder, some roasted materials, mahogany, and black limba. Over here, these are bodies that have been glued up, and they're like our necks. We let everything sit and acclimate for a while before we start cutting it to allow any moisture that's in there to leave. Like for example, we've got something really cool right here. Macassar ebony top, olive top, purple heart right there. One of our yin yang mahoganies right there, a fretless. Who knows, you might see your base right here. As we come through, over here, we have neck materials. We have hard rock maple that we'll get in large shipments, and then we'll let that shipment sit as we're working through the next one. Generally, it sits at a minimum of a year in the shop. Old school Fodera customers would know the shop is not acclimated in any way. Whatever the season is outside, it is in the shop. I mean, it doesn't rain in here, but you get the idea. So we allow the wood to sit in season through all these fluctuations and do all the movement that it wants to do before we start even flattening it, cutting it up, and then turning it into necks. So if you look, we have this entire row, all hard rock maple. This is some cool stuff right here. We actually have olive burl slabs and purple heart boards. Two really cool woods, and especially like the burl. You don't see olive burl too often, but we've managed to actually get our hands on some, and it's really cool material. Back here, this is kind of a fun zone. We have a few bays over here of things like wengi, bloodwood, purple heart, zircony, walnut, yellow heart, flame maple, and ivory wood. We keep all that back here, but also all of this is old material from the shop, even dating back to the Avenue O days. We have things like sheets of babinga. There's Cuban mahogany in there. Old Claro walnut, old Honduran mahogany, all kinds of stuff. We have Carina from when Gibson used it for flying V's. We have Carina from that era. We got a lot of old material. And then over here we have one side of the wood library. These are all top woods right here. And we have everything from zircony to quilted maple up there and everything in between. Like, for example, this is something you don't see every day. Crotch pink ivory. That's quite rare. Pink ivory is really hard to come by, especially in large sizes. So having a piece that's clean like that, it's something else. We've got redwood pin burl, which also kind of goes by lung tissue burl. Kind of got a couple ideas of it right here. It's hard to tell right now. There, you can kind of see the pattern there. How crazy the figure is. And then we got flamed redwood, satinwood, movingue, palm lace apile, Brazilian rosewood, Amazon rosewood, mesa birch, flame myrtle, spalted maple, all kinds of stuff. We even have this right here, which is a really cool topwood. This was Sycamore Burl, a really wild top. This is the first one that we've ever gotten, and it's so cool. You can see the pattern on that is insane. And it's like that on both sides. It's a book match.
So Mike Bendy is always back here looking through tops, right?
Yeah. He's back here looking through things, trying to find, he'll need to find this or that, or like certain figures that, a customer's looking for, and I'll always help him out. Like, pointing them around or even giving them some ideas that maybe even the customer hadn't thought of, like, oh, that might work. That might give the look that the customer's going for. Like, we'll even sometimes get someone asking for, like, you know, a 3D flame or something like that. That's pretty 3D to me. Over here, this is my main glue-up area. This is where neck throughs will get constructed. I'll construct necks themselves. I've got 5 here right now. A couple bolt-ons, a neck through, and a guitar. And then beams that are sitting that will turn into necks. That's sitting and waiting. Bodies, all that stuff. Over here on the other side of the Topwood Library, we have everything from flamed ash down to quilted maple again. It kind of wraps around. But we have Babinga, Bloodwood, Buckeye Burl, Holly, Emboya, Laurel Burl, Flame Mahogany, Quilted Mahogany, Bird's Eye Maple, Spalted Bird's Eye Maple, Box Elder Burl, Japanese Maple, Maple Burl, all kinds of different crazy woods. Madrone. We have some unique things in here too. Let's see, what would be a cool one? This is a really cool piece of grenadillo that has a really wild bee's wing pattern in it. This was actually a twin top to one of our NAMM bases one year. Over here we have fingerboards galore. We got Bird's Eye Maple down here, Macassar, Gaboon Ebony over here. And then up top we have Indian Rosewood, more Ebony, Pink Ivory, Moon Ebony, Cadillacs, Tulip Wood, and Brazilian Rosewood. We have a lot of that stuff. We also have old growth Palfaro up there as well. We have a nice mixture of materials. And then over here, we have probably the biggest supply of Palfaro I've ever seen in my life. Boy, do we like Palfaro. Yeah. We got 4-string, 6-string, 5-string. And again, these are sitting and waiting, kind of like the necks and the bodies and everything else. They're experiencing seasons and going through changes in humidity and finding their equilibrium before we start using them. And then the last thing, we have our neck blanks. Whenever someone comes to us looking for a neck, generally we'll make a beam that'll give us 2, maybe 3, and we'll hold on to them. Both the original one we'll hold on to and it'll season for the time that it needs until we can use it. But then we'll have a secondary one that will also hang around in case someone else sees it and it's like, oh, I want that too. We have one ready to go. So in here you'll find a lot of different things, like we have 5-piece oak and walnut, 9-piece walnut and maple, water maple. This water maple is actually from the Great Lakes. It was submerged in the Great Lakes for a very long time, and then the logs were pulled up, and we have some of that. Wengi, we've got roasted flame maple with Purple Heart stringers. Really, anything you want, we can make it within reason. We can't make a solid ebony neck, I'm sorry. So basically, to wrap up, that's luthier room. That's the back of the shop. Hope you enjoyed. On to the next one.
How's it going out there? My name is Joe Mayer. I'm a luthier here at Fodera. Been here over 10 years, and right now we're in the paint room. And this is where I've been working for a couple years now. Here's my messy bench over here. Never trust a overly organized luthier, right? But so what I'm working on now is we're about to get this raw body into the booth. So I'm looking it over, making sure there's no scratches on there. I did a neck. I fit the neck to make sure the neck fit is all perfect. And then this is about ready. I'm going to put it on a stick in a few minutes, and it'll get its first coats of sealer and spray. So that's what I'm doing over here, and I have this little rack of some of the things I'm working on. Here's a neck that's just been waxed. It's got its final finish on it. So I'm just gonna do one last neck fit on there to make sure it's perfect, and then bring it over to get strung up, and the setup process will begin. And here's the one with one of our painted headstocks. That's Fiesta Red, so it's pretty cool. The process for putting the butterfly in is one of the harder things that we do to get that perfect edge on the paint. So there's that one.
So you fit the butterflies in.
That's right. Yeah. We have. Let me show you a little about the butterflies. I kind of pre-make the butterflies, like match wings up together, like so, and then that'll go into a neck. Once it's we have like a CNC router that'll route the little route for it, and that's how we get them very consistent looking. And then we have the little mother of pearl Fs that we also put in there. All kinds of different Fs, and we have the pearl, we have the aluminum, and we have the holly. So different styles. And here's some of our really like higher end, master built quality butterflies. Wow. So really wild stuff. This is where we have raw wood bodies right here. These are items that have been finished sanding, and we're ready to just check them and get them into the booth. After they do that, then they end up going in here for their sealer. This is our paint booth. So in here we have our filters, and we have a big fan that we turn on, and it just sucks all the air through and gets all that overspray that hangs in the air. It all gets sucked really well out up into an exhaust vent. As the day goes on, we sand. We do like a sanding of each item that's in paint, and then they get checked, they get hanged, and then they get their coats. Each one gets about 3 or 4 coats per day, and it usually is like a 3 to 4, sometimes 5-day process of getting all of its finished coats and flattening. And those are some finished color ones we have over there. We'll also do some oil finishing in here too. We have the oil, so if it gets an oil, we'll hang them in here. Yeah, and so then once in the morning, we'll take them out, line them up on the racks. So we have all these different racks of, those are usually our finished ones. These are ones that are still getting worked on. And then we'll take each one like Dan here is doing, and just addressing all the needs of it as it goes through paint. Like say it needs a painted headstock, we'll tape it off, do the black spray on the headstock, all the little fills underneath the frets will get done, and then we'll do all our flat sanding, hard block sanding, and then once that part is done, then I'm kind of like the quality control person. I'll take them and look them over and see if everything that needs to be done is done. Back into the paint. These are ones that are sanded, ready to be worked on further. Like here's a headless. This one just needs to have the bevel. That's another thing that we do in here is we'll touch the edges. Before the last spray, we like to go over the edges of the fingerboard, round all the edges of the frets, and then give it that nice final feel. But you don't want a lot of paint buildup on that, so that's why we do it right before the last day of spray. So this one should happen today. And another thing we do in here is the stamping of serial numbers. So this one will get the serial number stamped today. It's on its 2nd day of spray. Got its butterfly yesterday. So then right about up here, I'm gonna mark off what the serial number is. We also usually stamp it under the bridge as well with the date on a custom instrument. So. We'll also do things like holes in the wood. We'll do fills. This is a buckeye top. Buckeye tops typically they have a lot of holes naturally in the wood, but you want it to have a nice flat finish. So we'll do these little fills, touch it up so that you have a real beautiful finished piece. And this one is a repair job. We had to do a new headstock. I guess there had been a crack in the wood over time. Sometimes wood is a natural living thing and it cracks, so this one got a new headstock face and a new butterfly, and that'll get waxed up and finished up also today. And then we have this room over here. This is our drill press room. So we'll do things like cutting the holes on the back of these for the washers, bolt-on washers. We'll do that with this bit right here. And then we'll usually keep things that are like the wax bodies that are getting ready to go over to finishing before they get their strap locks. That'll have to go in on this. This is a cool paint color that we haven't done before called Soul Red. Nice metallic. And one of our yin yang standard specials. There's another thing we do in here is to apply this paint coloring onto the top. When we do our yin yang standard line, it's one piece of wood, but then with the yin yang design painted on. And we also have like the purple heart ones where it gets a white on this side. And those have been very popular models. So we do a few of these each week. And we do the dot. So there's a lot of work that goes into making sure this line is perfectly rendered. And yeah, making sure that everything is routed properly and that the back plates fit. So that's what we do in this department. It's a painstaking work, but very rewarding when you see the final results as a finished Fodera. And on to the next room.
What's up, everyone? It's Mike Bendy from Fodera Guitars. I'm here at Joey's setup room. It's quite a legendary room. I remember the first time I walked in here, it was probably 2001. I was here with my girlfriend at the time. Her parents helped me buy my first used Imperial 5-string. It was killer, 35-inch scale, Brazilian Rosewood fingerboard, chestnut burl top, non-solid. And I remember walking here for the first time, being intimidated, of course, being an 18-year-old kid, and just how loving and open Vinny, Joey. I remember just being blown away by the love, the support, and most importantly, how the instrument felt, how it sounded. Fantastic instrument that served me well for a number of years. At Joey's bench, he does all the wiring of the instruments, all the setup work, stringing them up, making sure they're in peak performance before they get to you. For example, here's one build that's coming through. This is a Emperor Standard Classic. Customer did a vintage white color in there, custom color. Also upgraded to the abalone dots, shell butterfly, and I think that just looks unbelievable. Bird's eye maple fingerboard's gonna have that great 70s slap tone, ash body, meat and potatoes base on steroids. Photos, this is a wall of fame here. We have photos of Joey back in the day, our artists, the one and only Victor Wooten, a crazy custom Fodera back in the mid-1980s, more Victor, Anthony. My kids are up there, future Fodera endorsers, maybe. I try to give them bass lessons, but they're 6, I don't want to force it on them. It has to be up to them. Joey playing his signature bass that has the similar color, vintage white, but he has a fade on it. This actual bench has been here since, I believe, 1986, 87. This is it. Old school drawers, I love it. We got old parts in here, probably from 1983. Joey always finds something like old screws. Anything you need, it's like an old treasure chest of rare Fodera parts. Of course, we have setup here. We're here Joey playing his signature licks, grooving along to music, making sure the Foderas are sounding and playing tip top. I burned myself on that soldering iron maybe several dozen times throughout the years. Beautiful collection of wines. Joey and Vinny love Amarone Tomasi. I believe 2007 was the best year, best vintage. But if you ever want to give them a gift, secret's out. I think my one's here, yeah. To the greatest, love Mike Bendy. That was a 2011. I couldn't find a 2007. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first $20 that Fodera made back in '83. It says, "Good luck, Joseph. Love, Mom and Dad." Doesn't get cooler than that. Well, guys, thank you so much for checking out where your instruments come to the finish line through the hands of Joey Loricella himself, from our hands to yours. I'm Fred. I handle all of our shipping, all the strings, and our web store. So when an instrument's completely finished and photographed, it gets left in my shipping case out here. Then as soon as shipping's confirmed to the customer, we get the case together, the box together, all the paperwork and tools for it, do the final check on the instrument, get it fit to a case, get it boxed, and get it out the door. So this is where everything that's waiting to ship is kept. This is where everything that's come in for repair is kept. We store our cases up here and our boxes behind you. As you guys probably know, we have a lot of different body styles for our instruments. We take the time to fit each instrument to the appropriate case, make sure it fits properly. Sometimes we have to modify them, but we make sure it has the proper support because they're going all over the world. I also handle all of our strings. As some of you probably know, maybe some of you don't, we have our own brand of compressed round wound strings in both nickel and stainless steel that are always available for purchase through our website. And that pretty much summarizes the bulk of our shipping process.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out our shop tour. This was our way of bringing our shop to you at home, especially given the current times. And special shout out to our luthiers who work incredibly hard in a hot shop, especially in the summer months, covered in sawdust, wood chips, who knows what else, but they work really hard because they care and they're passionate about bringing you the highest quality handcrafted instruments that they can. We've also got our merch. This is a butterfly chart shirt, which features real Fodera butterflies on real Foderas. So please check that out. And also, we've got this Vinny butterfly net shirt, which is Vinny Fodera, the man himself, catching a few Fodera butterflies. Both of these are available on Fodera.com, and here is Mike Bendy modeling it for you.
How the hell did I get here? Hey, Dan, how are you? Hey, selling too many bases? Never enough.
If you like the video, please like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. It's all Fodera Guitars. Till next time.
Thanks for checking out our shop through this virtual tour, and I hope you got a chance to meet everybody and see everybody, and see that this place is real, and everything is done in house, and we're still enjoying it after it'll be 39 years this coming March, and thanks to you, all of you people, all of your support. Thank you so much.